Today's lesson is on geometric probability. It's a tool to deal with the problem of infinite outcomes by measuring the number of outcomes geometrically in terms of length, area, or volume. In simpler terms, it's the likelihood you will hit a particular area of a figure. Okay? So it says here, place your bets. You're going to throw a dart with your eyes closed. Will you hit the black or the gray? Black being this outer ring and gray being this center ring. Okay? So to find the probability of the black ring, you need to take the area of the black ring, which is your success area, and divide it by the total area, which is your total possibility. Okay? Remember, for a circle, area equals pi r squared. Okay? So for the area of the ring, we're going to take the area of the largest circle and then subtract the area of the inner circle. So the radius of the outer circle is 5. So we have 5 times 5 squared minus the inner circle has a radius of 3 squared, and then the total area again has a radius of pi times 5 squared. Okay, so this gives us 25 pi minus 9 pi divided by 25 pi. Doing your math, you get 16 pi divided by 25 pi. And since we have pi in both the numerator and the denominator, we can go ahead and cancel those out, leaving us with 16/25, which in decimal form is 0.64, which is 64%. So we have a 64% chance of hitting the black ring. Okay? Going on, what is the probability you hit the gray or the inner ring? Okay, the inner ring has a radius of 3. So we have pi times 3 squared divided by pi times 5 squared. Okay? This gives us 9 pi divided by 25 pi. Again, our pi's can cancel out. 9 over 25, which is approximately 0.36 hundredths, which is 36%. Okay? And just like we saw in earlier probabilities, since our circle is split into 2 parts, if I look at the probability of hitting the outer ring and add the probability of hitting the inner ring, notice that it becomes 100%. Moving on to the next example, you're going to throw a dart with your eyes closed. Will you hit the white or the gray space? So the first thing I'm going to do is find the areas of all of the spaces. So we have the overall rectangle, area of a rectangle, base times height, 200 square inches. For the circle, it's pi. Now, this is the diameter, so we take half of that, pi r squared, which gives us 4 pi, which, if I use the pi button on my calculator, 12.57 square inches. And then the last shape is the triangle, which is, since it doesn't have a little box here, but this is a right triangle, so we're going to do 1/2 base times height, and that's going to give us 24 square inches. So now we have all the areas, we can start doing our probabilities. Okay? The probability we're going to hit the gray space. Okay? The gray space is the rectangle minus the white spaces, which is the circle and the triangle. So this would be the rectangle minus the circle minus the triangle all over the rectangle. So we plug in our values, 200 minus 12.57 minus 24 all over 200. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in decimal form. You get 0.817, or you have approximately 82% of hitting the gray area. Okay. Now, what is the probability of hitting the white area? Well, the white area is your circle and your triangle. So I'm going to take the area of the circle plus the area of the triangle and divide it by the rectangle. 12.57 plus 24 all over 200. Again, I'm going to put it in decimal form, 0.182, or approximately 18% chance. So I want to take a brief moment. Notice, probability of hitting gray plus the probability of hitting white equals 100%. All right. Probability of hitting the circle, simply the circle divided by the rectangle. 12.57 divided by 200, 0.062, approximately 6%. Probability of hitting the rectangle, well, that's simply the rectangle divided by the rectangle. 200 divided by 200, you have a 100% chance of hitting the rectangle. In our last example, if you choose a random point, what is the probability that it will be in the gray space? Okay, so we're told here we have a square, and they have split a circle in half and put each half on each side of the square. So you can take the area of the square minus the area of the circle divided by the total area. So let's get some of these areas first. To find the area of the square, it's base times height, which is the same as the side squared. So we have 16 squared, which equals 256 square feet. To find the area of the circle, that's pi r squared. All right. So notice that this 16 represents the diameter. So the radius would be half of that. The radius is 8 feet. So we have pi times 8 squared. That is 64 pi. And using our pi button, we get 201.06 square feet. So now to find the probability that you will land in the gray space, we take the area of the square minus the area of the circle and divide it by the area of the square. And you get 0.214, or approximately 21%. Okay? And that is geometric probability.